He's getting his pump on. He's getting his pump on. He's getting all swole for all of us. And
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah.
he's gonna douse himself with hot oil. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna douse himself with hot oil. And we got the man of the hour, Gus Demas. Needs no introduction. Perpetualassets.com. If you're worried about communist pedophiles stealing your 401k and turning it into a 101k, check out Gus Demas or Will Lear over at perpetualassets.com. Gentlemen, with that being said, this Hunter Biden thing is catching fire. It is flaming. We just had Devin Cooney, whatever his name is, his buddy, his old business partner, just got moved from prison. The New York Times, like you said, Gus, is desperate. They are saying, "Ooh, Trump has a bank account in China." They are trying feebly. They're literally trying feebly to squash this. It is not squashing. Ice Cube and 50 Cent has come out in support of Trump. Trump has gotten 21% of the black vote. Any Republican that can capture 18% or more of the black vote is basically you're going to kiss the Democrat nominee goodbye. They've lost at that point. Dude, it's the mail-in voting is backfiring on them. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the idiot leftists who are so paranoid and schizo because you have to be mentally fragile to be a card-carrying member of the Democratic Party. You got to be mentally fragile, and that is from every statistic, every poll I've seen, every study that has been done. Liberal people are more mentally weak. They don't stand up to adversity. They can't stand challenges. They're a bunch of pussies. And what better? There's nothing better than being belonging to the party of the pussies. That when they get a mail-in ballots, guys, they have been caught spraying hand sanitizer, ruining tens of thousands of mail-in ballots have been ruined in many, many states. Utilizing hand sanitizer, these idiots are sanitizing their ballots, making them irreadable. They're being thrown out. This has been a giant cluster F. Also, the fact that 65% of Democratic male voters have said that they are so afraid of coronavirus that they will not go outside and vote. It's I love what these idiots have done. This whole Corona chant has literally blown up in their faces. Gus, your comments, sir.
I mean, dude, he called a lid on his campaign for 6 days.
Yeah.
6 days, a couple weeks before the election.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's memorizing his lines. You and I both know him and his cronies are working overtime trying to dust their tracks. But everything that's on Hunter's crack-ridden, pedophile-filled, drug-binged laptop from hell, they can't cover shit. And how brilliant of a move that Giuliani did.
All right, so what's the counterattack here from them? Are they going to go ignoring?
They can't now. Have you seen the latest poll?
Are they going to try denying? Are they? I mean, so what? They got to. You know that again, their greatest strength is the media cover. Like, so I'm trying to put myself in their mind, and maybe that's why he's in hiding for 5 or 6 days. Mm-hmm. Like, what's their play? Like, what do they do here? Like, and I don't know. I think Americans will put up with a lot. But once you go down, you go child porn pedophilia, I don't think you're winning the 40-year-old suburban mother in Pennsylvania with that.
No, so, you're definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know what angle they're going to play. They're going to try something. They always do.
MIT just released a poll. I don't know if you've seen this, man, but MIT has released a poll, and it says that Twitter and Facebook's ban have doubled the attention for Biden's laptop.
The Streisand effect. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the total Streisand effect.
If you won't let me see something, then I'm more curious what the hell it is. Yes.
Exactly. This is going terrible, man.
They're going to try something. And Giuliani might be the greatest Italian American since Joe DiMaggio. He might have just saved America. It really is a fucking big deal. And he played it wonderfully. And Bannon's been live talking about it. They slow dripped it all over the course of a week. Yeah. And then he also, kind of what I've been talking about jurisdictions, he took it to the Delaware authorities as well. To get another jurisdiction working on it.
Now here's a kicker. They know that the Delaware jurisdiction, especially the AG, who's butt buddies with Biden for the longest time, they go to the Petal Island. They do all sorts of gay stuff together. Um, we know he's compromised, but it's a brilliant move both by Giuliani and Bernard Kerik. Why? You give this to the authorities because you can't have child porn on you, period, right? So the child porn aspect of it, they give, but they kept all the text messages, all the other messages, and they are leaking it out. In fact, there's going to be a big disclosure today, later on today, by Giuliani and his team that actually shows communications with the Chinese and Hunter Biden with many references to Joe Biden. There's going to be some bombshells being dropped, man, today as well. So, but all this coming out, they know that the idiot FBI and the incompetent DA over at Delaware is going to be sitting on this. They're going to be playing hot potato back and forth. But what's going to happen now, Gus, is the greatest weapon is public perception. Now they are not only have control of the public perception, they are steering the bloody narrative. And the left are freaking out, bro.
I would ignore, if I'm Trump, I would ignore every single fucking question asked.
Yes.
During the debate.
Yes.
And just fucking every rebuttal, every question, this dumb commie bitch is going to go up there and try to say, oh, coronavirus. You know what they're going to do? They're going to try. And Trump should just say, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But first,
every single time,
I would just pound briberies from China, child porn, you're child porn. Like I would pound
that's
that.
It.
Like
that's it.
Yeah, ignore
Take
everything.
Control of it.
Yeah, I would ignore everything they're asking you, and that truly is frame. That's narrative. So they're going to try to pound because again, this guy, he's in hiding for Biden's in hiding for 5 days. He vanished. He called the lid on his campaign he needs debate prep for a full week. So that's what I think Trump should do. And if I'm Bannon, if I'm Giuliani, if I'm the rest of them, I drop everything in the next 48 hours leading up to the debate.
I think that's what's happening, man. I think there's going to be some bombshells being Giuliani announced. And dude, if people that don't know, I grew up in the Giuliani administration. Like I wasn't living in the city, but I lived right outside the metro. And my wife, she grew up in the city. She's a city girl her entire life. She knows. And she's a smart cookie, one of the brilliant, sharp mind that she has. She's a mind like a bear trap. She knows how the city was in the 70s and the 80s, okay, and the 90s, and how Giuliani turned around. Giuliani did not just take down the mob, guys. That you people don't understand the stranglehold the mafia had in New York City. People don't know that, and Giuliani cracked them. He not only cracked the mob, he cracked several other organized criminal rings. He also cracked other illegal dealings and illegal networks that were operating. He cleaned up New York. It was incredible. So this is a guy who knows what the hell he's doing. He knows how to play the chess game. Giuliani's brilliant. He's a savage. And people are going to be reminded just how much of a savage he is. Go ahead, Gus.
No, again, we've seen shit. We've seen shit before campaigns go public all the way. I mean, I could go all the way back to fucking as a kid, the youngest I remember is Gary Hart, the Gary Hart primary, the Democratic primary. And I was a young kid, but I still remember that. We've seen shit go public before campaigns, surprises, or before elections, I should say, but nothing like this. So I don't know. I don't know how the Democrats showed us one thing, though. They straight up, like I said last week, they straight up have some fucking audacity like you've never seen.
Oh, so my God.
Dude, in a normal, I think 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if something like this dropped 2 weeks before an election, they would have either party would have shriveled up, almost conceded defeat, and blah blah blah. Now though, dude, they're so. I sent you guys the YouTube video of Governor Gavin's Christmas orders yesterday.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
They are. I'm telling you, dude, they are fucking all in. They're not.
Yeah, they're all in. But you know what? They're all in in a giant echo chamber. They're all in on a giant vacuum. They're not seeing the resistance, the true resistance of people that are right now turned off by them, by the liberals that are leaving them. They're voting for Trump, by Democrats who said, you know what, we've had enough of this. Bye-bye. By those people who will be pushing back and calling for this idiot's recall. They're missing all of this.
Well, another thing I think people are going to start having to ask some serious questions on, and this goes back to our conversation the last week, the last month, the last 6 months about some of even the Q shit. Normal people need to start asking themselves, dude, why aren't people in jail? Yeah. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Is this country really run on two sets of rules? Because again, once you go down the bribery and the corruption, that's all politics shit. Yes, you could sway a lot of people. Once you start going down confirmed child porn or pedophilia, or there's even the interview I saw, Giuliani actually even pulled up a thread where Hunter is telling Biden, Joe, that, oh yeah, I was running around naked on a FaceTime with a 14-year-old. I think it's like a relative of
his. While smoking crack.
Yeah. Like, dude, what? Again, corruption's one thing. He's a criminal, blah, blah, blah. These are the kind of people that get killed in prison. Like, these are.
Oh, dude, it's going to be crazy. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, for any there, did you guys ever end up watching the show True Detectives with McConaughey and
it's on my saved list on my Hulu HBO thing.
Season 1 is some of the best TV you'll ever in the history of television. Because I bring that up, why? Because McConaughey, it's about kids. It's about serial killers and kids and cults and all the rest of it. But this one mom killed her 2 kids. McConaughey gets a confession out of her. And then as the interview's wrapping up, he whispers to her, he goes, prison isn't very kind to people who harm children. He goes, if you get a chance, you should kill yourself.
Well, yeah, like, exactly.
Like the world, we all have our own morals and set of rules that we live by. And one thing most normal people, most good people could get behind is, dude, if someone's hurting kids, we got to put them in a fucking corner and shoot them. Like, there is no greater sin. That is the top. That is the peak of the mountain. Fucking with kids.
Yeah, it is.
So
it would have been, it has been better for someone not to have been born than to suffer the little ones. It is better for that person to tie a millstone around his neck and to be cast into the midst of the sea than to harm these little ones. That's the words of Jesus, man.
Dude, like I said, man, I think people could turn a cheek to a lot, but once you start going down the confirmed, like I said, I thought the shit we were hearing was going to be even worse. Like, he was on tape choking 12-year-old Chinese girls or something. That'd be fucking epic if they had that. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Nothing surprises me at this point.
No, they got him, as they say, they got him dead to rights.
They do.
They do. It's a question of what. My only thing now is, what are the Dems, what are the media going to do about it? Because they're going to do something. They tried.
Well, Jeffrey Toobin tried to do something about it in the middle of a Zoom call. He started, rubbing one out with the camera still there.
Dude, how fucking
Mr. Feminist, Mr. Anti-Trump. Why is all these anti-Trump people being exposed left and right? I mean, Gus, this is an act of God. All these people are being exposed left and right. It's ridiculous.
I've taken a piss on a conference call before. But to actually try to jerk one out is pretty fucking sick. Like, that's
dude, it's sick. They're actually thinking that he was whacking off to a few of the females that were on that call,
or the dudes,
or the dudes. I mean, this is the far left. They're into all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah. What really gives you a sneak peek in how sick these people are is not only that he did it, but there are certain. I think Slate and Vox had articles or tweets like sticking up for him. Like, they're like, should we really punish someone that did something, got caught doing something that all of us do? It's like, dude, that's like me going into a fucking church and taking a shit. I'm like, whoa, we all take shits. I just happen to take one in a church. It's like, dude, shut up. These people are so fucking evil. They're so fucked up.
They're degenerate. They have no decency. They have no morals. They have no shame. And when you don't have morals, decency, no shame, my friend, you know what you've also cast off? Your humanity. At that point, you're capable of anything, including harming children.
Well, you know what makes me the sickest about this doesn't only hold true for commies, but for people, all people in general. One of the personality traits of people, some people I hate the most, and this definitely holds true for Democrats and liberals and commies, is being inauthentic, pretending, basically being fake, pretending to be something that you're not. And liberals and Democrats and commies as a party as a whole pretend to be like these virtuous, and Republicans used to do that. You used to have like a lot of the crazy Christian Republicans in the 90s or 20, 30 years ago that like they would be they were like anti-freedom, anti-libertarian, and then they would get caught getting blowjobs in truck driver bathrooms or whatever. So the crazy evangelicals used to be like that, but nowadays it's the liberals. Like they're like, oh, we're so moral, we're so virtuous, we're so dude, I cannot stand people who are fake. Be transparent. Just be who you are. Like, and when this whole fucking, they just pretend to be these. You know, it's a perfect example, bro. The way most rapists are actually soy boy beta males. Like they're like when people have the stereotype of rape in their mind, they're like, it's usually forceful, blah, blah. No. Most rapists are soy boys that roofie a girl and then they fucking rape her. Like they're like they're these beta orbiters that those are your rapist society. And liberals are, dude, they're sick fucks. They really are just sick fucks. Fake, bankrupt, evil, controlling, emotionally unstable.
Yes.
And this whole thing just ties up to it. They're trying. Imagine being a reporter right now, bro, at the New York Times or the Washington Post, and this story comes in front of you, and your mind gravitates to, God, that's fucked up. He was literally trying to molest 12 and 14-year-old girls. That's not where their mind goes. Their mind goes to, fuck, how do we hide this? Or how do we,
exactly.
Like, how do we sweep this under the rug?
I think this is how they do it. I'm just catching up to it because I've been focused a lot on.
What are you eating? What are you eating?
What I'm eating? I just took a drink of my coffee.
Protein.
You know, I have to ask CJ this because CJ lives in Foodtopia. He's surrounded by awesome restaurants and cafes, so I have to ask him this. Go ahead, CJ.
No, just looking at the information, it appears that there was a document here, a subpoena. They've marked most of this information out, so we don't know who exactly this subpoena was, and it's the person that signed it is one of the FBI's top child porn investigator. Now, the subpoena is dated 2019, and my thoughts is that when we'll know pretty soon is if the FBI comes out, kind of like how they shielded Hillary from the entire, email thing with Comey. If they come back and say, you know what, yes, we've already have investigated this, and we researched it. And if the FBI tries to say that they've already done this part of the investigation, yada yada yada, I'm not excusing anything at all, but I could see them trying to play it that way. That, hey, there was a subpoena that you saw. We've already had the interview with Hunter. We've already discussed these things. This is what's taking place. Who knows how they try to spin it, right? But I think that's the effort of potentially what they can do. And then ultimately the question falls back to, is Barr willing to do anything with it with the DOJ, right? Because they've already turned it over to them as well. So it's going to get very interesting, no doubt, here this week. Continue to monitor this daily.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's incredible.
Dude, I don't know.
Hey, Danny ever said that Tubin was playing with his subpoena.
Well, I don't want to restate the obvious, but the FBI just straight up can't be trusted. The fact that they've had this since December speaks volumes. They can't be trusted, dude. Again, you have the guy who runs the thing. Again, I sent you guys the pictures of those fucking commie dykes kneeling for Black Lives Matter. They're
complete sellouts, dude.
Yeah, the biggest threat to this country is the Klan. It's like, okay, dude. Oh yeah, totally.
Gus, you make an excellent point, because I think that obviously what he did is absolutely terrible. But think about from the perspective of the FBI and think about their role of leading, these investigations. Think of how people with the actions of a bad cop. I'm talking about what was the gentleman's name where they put the knee on his neck and everything and killed him. So if you think of the outrage regarding one individual's actions, now granted that was killing someone.
But CJ, he was a saint. He put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. He's been in and out of jail.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that the outrage in regards to all police, to fund the police and everything. So look at the actions of the FBI of them completely neglecting any type of protecting children and all these things, where you're looking at an entire bureau that's corrupt from the top down and trying to excuse these things. And I know everyone's going to say, well, where's the FBI agent? There's some still good FBI agents. Well, that's true, but why aren't they out there whistleblowing and telling, coming to the meeting saying, sharing these stories that, hey, look, we had all this stuff. And I think there have been a few that have said we pushed back on the top levels of the DOJ. I know that there was specifically a couple of investigators who just, after 2 years of hard work and commitment, they just were irate at Comey. They need to come forward. They need to, expose the criminality within the FBI. And as an institution, how does it recover from this? How can you excuse their behavior in an attempt to really kind of shield a political person like this? It's ridiculous.
They have demonstrated nothing the last 3 years that leads me to trust them. Zero.
Right. No,
zero.
The FBI is useless.
Zero. From the Mueller team to the fucking text, dude. They suppressed all this for 3 years. They went along with it. The blah blah blah. And ever since the commie revolution started, they've been running cover for them too.
Absolutely.
Like these motherfuckers commit entrapment and infiltrate for a fucking living. You're trying to tell me they can't get any of their fucking people in these organizations? Like it's a scam. They cannot be trusted, like, at all. And since they've had this fucking laptop since December. I mean, again, and Ray's testa. And what do the liberals do? What does the media do? They throw the Ray quotes to the public. Like, oh, white supremacy is the real problem. Conservatives are the real problem. So this faggot's up there, not acknowledging that the country is burning and trying to tell everyone Hitler and the Klan's hiding under their beds. It's a total scam. Like, dude, we could see the country burning. Why haven't you stopped it? Like, that's your fucking job.
Yep.
Like, we could. And again, I brought it up last week or 2 weeks ago. He's not another thing the FBI should be doing. He's not protecting us from these crazy prosecutors and mayors and governors. He's protecting them from us. Like, it's vice versa. He should be the FBI should be investigating, why are prosecutors dropping charges on rioters, looters? This is arson. This is assault. This is battery. This is mob action. Why isn't the FBI investigating these things? The FBI should not only be investigating Antifa and BLM, but it should be investigating the coordination of the prosecutors and mayors with the organizations. Why are the prosecutors cutting these people loose? Why is Portland and Seattle releasing all of them without bond? Like, the FBI, that's what they should be doing. Instead, they're trying to convince you 3 rednecks in Mississippi are the greatest threat to America. It's like, dude, shut the fuck, like, fuck off. The whole institution's bullshit. It's an entrapment arm. It's a blackmail arm. It's a leverage. The FBI and CIA have waged war. The type of shit they've done in other countries for 50 years to overthrow governments, launch color revolutions, they're doing to us now. Our institutions have been turned against us. That's what's going on.
This is what needs to be done to Christopher Wray and a few of the guys like Peter Strzok in the FBI. This is what we should do right here. Here's a perfect demonstration. There we go. That's the American citizen exercising his First Amendment right. That's what needs to be done to Christopher Wray. That's what that's Ken McCabe on the floor, and we're making Ray watch. That's Comey. We beat the shit out of Ray while making Comey watch. And then we take Ray. There he is.
They brought it up. I think at Zero Hedge. It's an excellent point. It's like, let me get this straight. The Democrats are trying to impeach the president for a Ukrainian call, and the whole time the impeachment was going on, the FBI was sitting on those emails. Like, so the FBI, the FBI had the evidence against the Bidens while they're trying to impeach Trump. Like, think about that. Dude, we're living in a fucking banana republic, dude.
It really is. It's been bought and hijacked, and people don't understand the amount of international money. People are like, oh, big tech is so powerful. Big tech is in the back pocket of so many international governments, predominantly the Chinese, and the Chinese are trying to author, basically what we are going to do and what we're going to be. Too much infiltration. Ever since the Chinese infiltration of Hollywood, not a single bad thing, said about China, this, that, and the other. It's so overt at this point, man. It's ridiculous. Look, China is a rival, and I don't think we should be competing with them militarily. I think it's stupid. But there's no reason why we can't, hold on. They're burying Christopher Wray and James Comey right now. They're getting buried. But there's no reason why we cannot compete with these guys at a business level and beat them at their own game. That's what needs to be done,
Big tech is only one arm of the octopus, right?
Yep.
Like I said, big tech, if the other arms of the octopus weren't working in unison, and Tim Pool had an interview with someone about it, talking about it, I think last night, and I was overhearing it while I was drinking Bloody Mary celebrating. The big tech ultimately could control the information in and out, but big tech can't go on the streets and beat you for wearing a Trump hat. That's right. Antifa. So one leg of the octopus, and he's right, one leg of the octopus is Antifa and BLM. They're the street muscle. Another leg of the octopus is the prosecutors and mayors. They're the ones who don't prosecute, throw them in jail. Another leg of the arm is big tech. Big tech controls censorship. Another leg of the octopus is media. Media controls narrative. So all these things work together. Like and one without the other, we got to knock them all out. Like education, BLM, Antifa, these prosecutors, the mayors, big tech, media. Like it's a multi-front war. Yeah. Focusing on one front or the other, great, but they all have to be addressed. And CJ, per your point, the rhinos, when it comes to big tech, that's when the rhinos expose themselves the most. Who's bought and paid for, who's controlled opposition. Like they won't even get these fucking guys up there, and get them on record under oath. So the rhinos really expose themselves when it comes to big tech.
Right.
Absolutely right, man. Now they look at that guy Josh Hawley. We're gonna subpoena them, and we're gonna find out what's going on. Okay, and then what?
Yeah, big tech's important, like I said, but there are other facets that are important too. Correct. It all works together, dude. They know what they're doing.
It is a complete arm. I'm thinking about it. Why does ISIS have Twitter accounts? Why does Antifa have Twitter accounts? Why is it that you say something politically incorrect, you and I are shut down? Why is it that the press secretary of the United States government, has her Twitter account blocked, but Antifa was all open? And it wasn't until massive pressure that they actually started going ahead and started taking down Antifa accounts, the ones they could find. Because after all, Gus, it's just an idea.
Yeah, they allow big tech media. Look at Antifa and BLM, for example. They are protected by every other leg of the octopus. So big tech protects Antifa and BLM. The prosecutors and mayors protect them. The media runs cover for them. All these things work, and vice versa. The media runs cover for the mayors, governors, and prosecutors. The media runs cover for big tech. You don't see the New York Times up there saying big tech censorship is a problem. The prosecutors are a problem. Do you notice how all these entities, all these different branches I'm bringing up, they all protect each other. They don't throw each other under the bus.
Right.
Dude, if some Republican mayor or when a Republican governor or mayor launches some no mask policy or what, look at how they've attacked DeSantis in Florida. In unison, big tech, the media, they have no problem attacking politicians as long as it's not one of their own. But in regards to, who's helping with the revolution, they all protect their own. The prosecutors, mayors, and governors protect big tech protects the media protects BLM and Antifa. It all works together. They need it working together, and it does work together. We're all on the same page here. We got to beat up Trump supporters. We got to overthrow the country. We got to steal the election. Like there's no infight. That is the one thing the Democrats do well. There's no infighting. Like
they're unified in their message.
And their message.
The rhinos are disgusting. The rhinos, they want to go ahead and be like they want to. Then you got the rhinos and the conservatives who are just cucked, and they think they can work with these evil people. You just can't.
No, the infighting. If we're gonna stand a chance, and that's why I'm not openly harsh on people. Who, dude, I'm not openly harsh on anyone if I sense we agree on 75% of shit, or even like if they're a real honest, like, again, I bring it up all the time, dude. Tulsi's great. I don't agree with her on 25% of shit, but I think she's a good person, blah blah blah. But the infighting has to stop, and people have to acknowledge the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is these people really are fucking, again, they're commie pedophiles. Like what the fuck else you need to see? Like, come on. So yeah, I don't know.
Gentlemen, I hate to leave a party, but we'll catch you next week. You guys continue the conversation. Have fun.
Enjoy the workout, bro.
Be safe. Later on.
Yeah, exactly. Like these people are there's a line where you could where you move from intellectual discourse to complete raging emotional outbursts. And that's what you're seeing from the left. It's like the most mentally ill people, the ones who have been taking lithium and Prozac for the last several decades, are literally the ones that are making the most amount of noise. They're spazzing out, and they can't handle it. These are emotionally and mentally fragile people, Gus. It's ridiculous.
Do you think there's going to be election night and election week? Do you think they're going to riot and loot no matter who wins?
I think they're going to riot on the route no matter who wins. Because here's what people don't understand. A lot of people on ours is like, oh my God, look at these rioters. They're really enervated for Joe Biden. No, they fucking hate Joe Biden. They are enervated, okay, because the simple fact is these little soy boys and these idiot dumb girls who need to get smacked because the daddies weren't there to backhand them and put them in line because the mommy ran the household. These idiot kids, they're not going to vote for Joe Biden. They think they're having their revolution. Here's the funny thing about it. When you start to study all these rioters, you got a small percentage of them are the Black Lives Matter leadership idiots. They want their communist Marxist utopia. Then you have Pantifa, who also want their communist Marxist utopia, and that's a small percentage of them. The rest of the people that are quote unquote rioting, they don't care about politics. They're not going to show up to vote. They're there for looting and rioting. They're there because, hey, you know what? Today I'm getting free Air Jordans. I'm picking up the latest pair of Nikes. The new Air Force Ones are out. I'm gonna grab me one of those.
You're basically saying those are just criminals. They're not revolutionaries.
They're not. They're opportunists, man. I wouldn't even call them criminals. They're just, hey, you know what? If I'm in the ghetto, I'm in the hood, and things are going bad, and I don't have much of a life, but there's a riot going down, and my local Foot Locker, my local Nike store, my Timberland store, my Target store, any one of these retail shops are fair game. Now I can riot and steal. Why? Not because I'm a criminal, but I'm an opportunist. They're not going to show up to vote.
Well,
that's number one. Number two, Pantifa.
There's some line there, like the dude who drove the car through the mall on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. That's kind of a criminal. Like that's
yeah. Of course, there's the guy who shot the other guy. Yeah, there's criminals in there too, no doubt. But the majority of the people are just a bunch of near-do-well losers who are just opportunists.
Yeah,
what they're doing is criminally wrong. Correct. 1,000%. You shouldn't be rioting. Period. Right. But they're just they're not going to vote. None of them are going to vote. Antifa. These stupid kids literally think, and the politicians like that support them, like the one in Colorado that Project Gravitas exposed. He's like, yeah, us leftists, we're training. This fat fuck, I'd smack the shit out of him. He'd cry like a little baby. Like literally, I'm watching this fat little bearded bald bastard, and I'm thinking to myself, if I was in a room for 5 minutes, face to face, if he had the 5'11", 265-pound gorilla in front of his face, he would cry like a little bitch. but he's ready for war.
Well, no, I've told you they're hyenas, brother, not lions.
That's all they are. They're not going to vote for Biden.
I used to bring up the example of they shut the fuck up when they're alone, or there's only two of them in a Starbucks. But the better example now is the mask example. Yeah. So when I'm in an elevator in my building, and I'm not wearing a mask, and one of them or two of them are, I could tell they're like very uncomfortable. They don't say shit because there's only one or two of them. They're total cowards. They're hyenas. They get really tough when except for their generals. The only ones with balls are the Karens. Like the Karens.
That's it.
The Karens will get in your face even if it's one-on-one. But most of them, especially the guys, they're total fucking pussies.
They totally are.
Yeah,
they totally are.
They act tough. Look at Jack and that fucking that little pussy in Washington D.C. The feds actually arrested him. The kid Posobiec would have beat the fuck out of him. Would have crushed him. Yeah. You see the kid without his mask. He looks like a soy boy demon. And he acts real tough when it's 50-on-1 or 20-on-1. If he was by himself, if I saw that fucking geek downstairs right now, he wouldn't say a fucking. He'd run and hide. He wouldn't say a fucking word. Dude, they're pussies. Yeah, they're not. They're again. Me and you already know this. It's not the party of alpha men. It's the party of soy boys. It's the party of bitches.
It's the party of bitches and losers. If you're a bitch and a loser and you're mentally and emotionally fragile, you belong with the Democrats. That's the party of losers. I knew that as a kid. I'm like, that's the party of losers. Just the way they talk. Way they talk. I'm like, these are losers. That's what they are.
It's the party. It's the party of guys.
And they're the racists, man.
It's the party of guys who cry when they fuck. That's the best way.
Oh, dude! They last about 2 minutes, and they turn over, they bite the pillow, and they start crying. Was it good for you?
Screaming for mommy. Yeah, they're.
I just thought about my mom.
They're
disgusting.
It's gonna be an interesting 2 weeks, and even after, I've said for a while my prediction. If I was going to put money on it, I would say this shit is going to the courts. That's been their plan all along.
That's what they're going to try and hope to do. Honestly, I think what's going to happen is this. It's going to be an utter blowout because everything's failed. You see, they made the fatal flaw twice, Gus. In 2016, do you know who they should have ran against Trump? Bernie.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. In 2020, you know who they should have ran against Trump? Bernie. It didn't happen. If Bernie ran, you would have the communist sympathizers coming out in droves.
Well, okay? And I think a lot of them could connect the dots, but they haven't wanted to connect them in 2020. If you want to know what the power structure is really rigged on the Democratic side, they really did. When Trump says it, he's not lying. They stole it from Bernie twice.
Yep.
And the fact, like, you think they're going to give you, it's kind of like the fucking Animal Farm. Like, you think you're going to get even if your little commie revolution is successful, do you think you're going to get a piece of the pie, you fucking loser? You're a barista. Like, you're fucking, you're a
I'm going to work as a barista, make amazing coffee creations, and get paid $50 an hour with free healthcare in college.
Yeah, they think once the commie revolution wins, that the little Antifa pussy faggot barista is going to be in charge of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Like, he's going to be a high level bureaucrat. Like, they're delusional, dude. They're fucking losers. Like, forget, like I said, they're not the problem though. The problem is they're useful idiots. I've been saying that forever. The problem is the power structure that protects them, the levers of power that protects them. And no matter what happens at the election, I think they're gonna go back. I think they're gonna take it to rioting and looting again. I think they're gonna take it to the courts.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely riot. I don't think he'll make it to the courts. I think Trump's victory at this point is going to be so overwhelming. I don't think it's going to go to the courts. And what's going to happen is, see, these guys, you got to understand, these people want to riot. Because they're so indoctrinated by this revolution. The 0.0001% of the population is so, like, enamored by this concept of revolution. They're going to riot. They hate Biden. Right? They're going to riot anyway. Biden's going to get blown out.
bro, they've romanticized it. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. In their minds, this is their 1960s. This is
this is Havana, baby. This is Havana in '64.
Yeah. This is their moment. Yes, they're in their minds. Like I said, fucking insane. It's all insane. And I hope you're right about the landslide. A landslide scenario is the only scenario where it's hard. You're right. It's hard for them to tie it up in courts and shit. If they only needed to flip one state or two states, like, dude, even last time they tried flipping 3 states in the courts, and remember all the celebrity videos, like, oh, Wisconsin electorates, when you go there, you don't have to vote for Hillary. Like they literally tried getting, even though Trump won, they were trying to play every single possible angle to flip 2 or 3 states.
This is going to be worse than 2016 for them.
Man, I think you're right. I think
this is going to be worse.
I think they're going to melt down. I think they're going to melt down.
They're going to be like Jeffrey. All of them, all the newscasters on the night of November the 3rd will all become just like Jeffrey Toobin. Live on TV, they will whip it out and start cranking it out like a monkey that has been under stress. You ever seen monkeys in stress? When they're greatly stressed out, what do? They start beating off.
Do they really?
Yeah. Or they're flinging shit. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to start beating off and flinging their poop at the camera. That's what you're going to see on CNN with Brian Stelter. That's what you're going to see on MSLSD with Richard Madcow. That's what you're going to see on CNBS and ABC and all the other all the other idiotic mainstream news networks. This is going to be worse for them than 2016. Why? Because the spell has been broken. The spell has been the glamour has been gone. The scales have fallen from the eyes, my man.
Well, they hated Trump. They hated Trump leading up to the last election. But the amount of hate and lies and delusion that they've expunged the last 3-4 years, I think they're going to fucking explode. And honestly, the best thing that could happen, and this is me, CJ would disagree with me with what I'm about to say, but dude, on election night, no matter win or lose, if the rioting and looting starts, dude, he should use his power and just start crushing them federally.
Absolutely.
Like, send in the fucking National Guard to all these places. If Seattle, at that point, it doesn't matter what the media is saying. The votes are in, right?
Yeah. Because then these revolutionaries who are just a bunch of LARPers, bro. These are a bunch of idiots who've been stuck in the basement playing World of Warcraft, okay, and Fortnite, okay. These LARPers, they'll cry like babies. It'll end instantaneously.
Well, Trump even brings it up. He's like, once we send in the National Guard, this shit's over in half an hour.
Yeah.
Like this playtime hippie bullshit is over. Like, so that's what he should do. Doesn't matter if it's the night of the election or the day after. If they start getting out of control, dude, crush them. Just crush them. Dude, don't forget, no matter what happens on election night, he's still president for the next 2.5 months. He's still got 2.5 months. No matter what happens on election night, Trump is still president for 2.5 months. So November 3rd at night or November 4th, if it's going to be the week of revolution, election week, Trump should fucking crush them.
Crush them all.
Because at that point, you don't care what the media says. You're president no matter what. Like you're not trying to court votes. The propaganda is irrelevant. None of it matters anymore. Him having to play nice because of propaganda, which is what he did the first run of the Summer of Love. That none of that matters anymore. Like you don't have to play nice anymore. Like all the votes are in. Time to start crushing these commies. So I hope that's what happens. But like I said, there are crazy 2 weeks coming up, and it was a crazy 48 hours in the news cycle, man. Again, I hope you're right. I hope it's a landslide. I hope the child porn shit. I hope we flip New Mexico, Nevada. I sweep the Midwest. I hope it happens. I do.
Dude, have you seen the 405? Have you seen what's happening in California? Have you seen? My God, I've never seen like the amount. Even in New York City, bro, the turnouts for Trump are huge.
The enthusiasm isn't even close.
It's not even close. And you want to know something, man? Those people that do that, they're going to go out there. They're going to vote.
No one. To be clear, no one is voting for Biden. They're voting against Trump. So the election is the Trump versus the anti-Trump Karens and commies and BLM and Antifa and all the rest of the bullshit. That's the election. But the enthusiasm isn't even close. It's not even fucking close. You're right. The lines you see, even in fucking Newport Beach, California, anywhere you go, the people are. Ruben's been posting videos from like Beverly Hills, places in Cali. Will always gives me feedback on San Diego. Like, huge, and again, I'm not implying we're going to flip California, but the enthusiasm is even close.
Yeah, it's going to help in the popular vote because this time around they're not going to say, "Oh, Hillary won the popular vote." Guess what? The last 3 years, the flood of illegals have dissipated to a trickle. They're not going to be there this time around. And you want to know something? Here's the genius of the people. Like, how are they going to stop the mail-in voting and all the fraud? Here's the genius of the census. For them to do the census in 2020 created a beautiful, wonderful ledger in order to check against.
Sorry, I was mounting something in the dishwasher. Like I said, I think he's going to win. I think they're going to battle in courts. The last time they tried to fight this, even though they were 3 states behind, they had to flip 3 states, and they still tried it. Right. But if the electoral count runs above 320, 350, they would have a hard time. They're like, we have to flip 7 states. Like, how the fuck would we do that? Right. We'll see, man. And on the local front, it's people have to make decisions. Like, what do the governors and mayors do after the election in regards to the COVID shit too? Like the video I saw last night about the rules Gavin issued for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was like, dude, how is this country not at war already? Like, this is fucking.
How are they not? Grabbing him, pulling him out of his governor's mansion by his ankles and stringing him up on a tree and beating him with a baseball bat like a piñata.
Yeah, watch you people at home, Google or YouTube, like Governor Gavin's Christmas rules or Christmas rules California.
Dude, it's insane.
He literally is basically like, we're gonna watch you in your house with your family. Like it's the craziest rules and guidelines and all that bullshit. This country is not in a good place. This is what happens when power is unchecked. And that's why I'm like, CJ, last week or 2 weeks ago, I was like, CJ, the feds got to come in and stop this shit. They got to, or people got to move, or if we reach a point where we let these governors and mayors truly make us their bitches, where like, dude, they're out of control. The power is out of control. And I hate bringing. I don't want to go back to it, but it's approaching like, we're confiscating your kids. We're doing whatever we want. Like something's got to break here, and the population, I think, is reaching a breaking point. And I'm not talking about 50% of the population. No. It would only require 10, 5, 15, 20%. But once you start saying, guess what? We canceled Christmas, and you can't have more than 3 kids in your house, and like you and your family, even in your house, have to stay 6 feet apart. Dude, people are gonna you're gonna get dragged out of that mansion soon. Like, something's got to give soon. They either have to back the fuck off. The feds got to come in and prosecute people. There's got to be recall elections. Something has to give soon. I'm telling you. I couldn't, when I watched that video, I couldn't believe what I was watching.
It's shocking, bro.
Dude, it's like Soviet Union, Nazi Germany shit. It really, really is. And I know people throw out those examples a lot, but when you watch the video and watch California's guidelines, it really is. They are insane now. Like, where they're like, they want to dictate what you could do in your homes on a fucking holiday. It's madness. It's pure madness. So
it's insane, man. It's like you can't have more than 3 households. None of it makes any sense. It's not science based. It's all from the very corridors of control freaks, bro. It has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with reality.
No,
and the lowest amount of death and hospitalizations ever in California. They want to go ahead and do this. It makes no damn sense.
No, it has nothing to do with saving anyone. It literally is tinkering on totalitarian dictatorship shit. And I'm not using that as hyperbole. Like I said, watch the video, guys. YouTube it. Look at the guidelines.
I'll read a few things off real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what Gavin says on gatherings. Keep it short. No more than 2 hours. 2 hours or less. The longer the duration, the risk of the transmission. Singing, chatting, shouting, and physical exertion significantly increase the risk of COVID. Because of these activities, you shouldn't be doing it. If you're going to sing, you have to do it at a voice that's less than normal conversational voice. Shouting is strongly discouraged. People who are singing or chanting should wear a face covering at all times. And you're sitting and eating, sit 6 feet apart, and you can put your mask down in between your chewing. And then grandma and grandpa, when you guys come over, everybody's got to take down their contact information and their personal information, and their phone numbers for contact tracing, and report it to the government. Dude, if I don't clock this guy in the jaw, if I see him, I don't know what. Somebody beat this man up, please.
And I want people to really let it sink in. This isn't guidelines he's giving businesses, your local bar, your local restaurant, your local store. This is guidelines he's giving you for inside your home.
Yep.
Like, you will follow these rules when inside. If you sing too loud, I might have state police show up. Like,
well, here's the thing, Gus. If you let government into the womb, this is where you leftists gone wrong. You let government into the womb. Now they can come into your house.
Man, I said I often give us as Americans a hard time for being docile, submissive little sheep, but I think they went too far. Christmas in this country is kind of a biggie. So is Thanksgiving.
Just a little bit.
4th of July in LA, they already gave them a fuck off. That was some of the most beautiful pictures and video you'll see. Everyone was lighting off fireworks, like the biggest middle finger to Garcetti and Gavin. But they're playing with fire here, and because I don't. California might be vote liberal, but when this is Stalinistic type shit. It really, oh yeah, make sure you and your grandmother stay 6 feet apart in your house. Like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, dude, I'm not your slave, retard. People are, playing with fire, dude. These, you only have to look at those rules to see who's the good guys and who are the bad guys here. Like, if and that's what I'm amazed by, people like still on the fence. Like, do they just not see this shit? Like, it's like, dude, these people think they have the right to put you in ovens. Like, that's what we're approaching here. He's saying you're a cattle and you will follow my fucking orders. And Cuomo's no different.
No, they're all the same.
They're all the same, dude. They're total dictators, authoritarian dictators.
1,000%.
Anyway, I got a trade call I got to take here in a few minutes, brother. Great talk. Great talk as always, brother.
Always, it's been fun. And folks, again, perpetualassets.com. If you're terrified of communist pedophiles taking your 401k and turning it into a 101k, or they're going to do a wealth confiscation on you and transfer your wealth to somebody else because Tyrone, the crackhead from down the street, he needs his cuckoo. He's actually Hunter Biden, the crackhead from the street, needs some more crack. Then contact Will Lear or Gus Demas at perpetualassets.com. With that being said, we're over and out. Enjoy your day, folks.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Take care. Oh, one more thing, folks. Real quick. I might be getting W107 today at 2 p.m. 107. 2 p.m. today. All right. So he's got some amazing updates and a little special something to show all of you. Yes, absolutely. And Joe, look at this. It's something about me not showing my face. If you're on my Patreon, you've already seen my face. So there. All right. With that being said, I'm over and out, guys. Keep it locked here. I will post when W is on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. If there's anything changes, I will announce it on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you need to follow me on Twitter. I'll post all that stuff over there. Get on the Patreon, and also, what am I missing? I think that's it. All right. So see you all at 2 p.m. With that being said, we're over and out.